Good morning, everyone. It's been kind of crazy with all the weather and closings we've had lately, so let's try to keep going with our new unit that we started last week, Progressivism. So once again, when you click on Canvas, this is your new unit. It's at the top. As always, there are resources for the unit, the textbook, the slideshow, also the test review. There is the game already. That you can play at any time. So commercial breaks, you're bored at school, you have downtime, go ahead and click on that, play through it. We have a couple of assignments for this week. We have a web quest. Good morning, everyone. It's been a crazy couple of weeks with all our weather closures, and this week looks a little iffy as well, but let's continue on with our progressivism unit. As always, you have resources at the top of your module. You always have the textbook. I highly encourage you to look through those pages. The slideshow that I show my in-person students that have embedded video clips to help further explain those topic or people. And then as always, you have a review game. It's been on there the whole time. You can always click on it, play through. It's the questions that you see on the test. It's not all the test questions, but it's a variety of test questions that you will see on the test. So last week, I had assigned you this Progressivism Webquest. So it looks like this. And so you were to answer these questions. There were links to either an article or a website or a video, and then you were supposed to pull out of that information. So this is kind of an overarching look of our unit and all the different topics within our unit. So I have only about half of you that have turned that in. So if you could go ahead and finish that first. I've already entered it into PowerSchool, so I would love to update those grades. Next on our agenda is a DBQ. So further down on your module, you should see it's labeled Progressivism DBQ. This is document-based question is what that stands for. So what you're going to encounter are primary sources, so original documents from this time period. Some are pro or for giving women the right to vote. Suffrage is just the right to vote. And some of them are against. So there were arguments on both sides. This wasn't a universal agreement that all women should be able to vote. Not even all women themselves agreed that they should have the right to vote, which is kind of interesting. And so what you're going to do, this first page is just kind of an overview of the goal. And then you'll notice the documents are all labeled document 1. And so you're going to read through the document. It tells you where the source came from and the year behind it. And then you're going to pick out the relevant information. So for instance, this says, what are the 2 reasons why women should have the right to vote? So you're just going to go back up here to the reading that you just skimmed over and then pick out those 2 relevant reasons. So as you carry on, some of these documents that you're going to be looking at are for it and some of it are against it. For instance, this document is the 10 reasons why they felt that women should not have the right to vote. And if you look closely at the bottom of the document, it tells you where it was from and including the year too. So remember, these are all firsthand actually printed documents, either in newspapers, magazines, distributed in cities for and against the women's rights to vote. So you're going to complete that, and then at the very end, sorry if I'm making you dizzy by scrolling through all these documents, there's even a political cartoon that was published in the paper about what would happen if women had the right to vote on election day. And then at the end, it does ask you to come to a conclusion. So in an honors class, we're starting at this point in the year to get you ready for those high school honors type classes. And we do require you to write more. And so in this, it's asking you to take all of those documents, all of the information provided, and come to a conclusion. And it tells you the guidelines that should, to be kind of your outline for your concluding paragraph there, right? And then finally this week, you should have on your module on Canvas, it's the square deal. So Teddy Roosevelt's square deal. These are your typical reading comprehension worksheets that we've done before. This one really dives into the meatpacking industry, the novel by the Jungle by Upton Sinclair, which if you were in person, we do a in-class reading of a section of that. It's pretty gross. And so if you ever want to read that, it's online. The full book is online in order to read that. but it really shaped how people felt about the meatpacking industry and allowed changes to occur. So as always, you're just going to read the information. So in this first paragraph, you should be able to find the answer. How did Roosevelt's personality shape his presidency? Right over here, it says he was bold, he was ambitious, he was full of energy. So they're describing his personality. So how did that go to shape his presidency? So remember, all these answers can be found in the reading. And then, as always, when you get down to the bottom, it asks you to fill in some sort of chart or graph, usually comparing and contrasting information or putting things in a particular order. Please keep in mind on this one, it says if Roosevelt took no steps to solve the problem, or if no legislation like governmental action was involved, then you simply just type in the word none. So that won't be many of them, but on a couple of them, either the president or Congress decided not to make any changes, right? So just to clarify again, our goal for this week, you're going to turn in the Webquest if you have not already. You're going to complete the DBQ over women having the right to vote. And then you're going to do a reading comprehension worksheet over the square deal. As always, if you're looking for more information, some more material, I would highly recommend that you go through the textbook that I've linked, the slideshow that I show my in-person students with embedded video clips, and then also playing the review game. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns this week. Thank you.